What's up, guys? Jesse here, AI Music Money, and today we're going to go over my $48,000 AI music revolution strategy. So you don't need instruments, you don't need a band, you need two skills and the will to fight. First, quick credibility check. If you want to know how I've made almost $50,000 in the past several months, with over $20,000 in January, $20,000 in December, and as of January, $110 from you guys. So thank you very much for that. If you want to know how I made this, then stick around and watch this video and go watch all my other videos, right? As I break down the process for everyone. If you want to know how I got over 11.8 million streams, that's 11,800,000 streams on my main artist. And you've seen me work on Velvala. You've seen me work on Russian raps. You see me work on these artists, right? Here's Velvala. You've seen me work on, I got 9 people listening right now. And make sure y'all go check out the TikTok. We just started a TikTok yesterday. Got this video out, got a couple videos out, and then got a new one posted today. You've seen these videos, to be fair, but there will be TikTok only content like this, but there will also be TikTok only live streams where that content will only be available on TikTok. I will do special things on each platform to attract subscribers from both platforms to each platform. So hook a brother up. Go follow me over there, right? Go check it out. AI Music Money. We're branded now. All right. Also, school community, go check it out. This is a private niche research video. It's just me talking. Same way I'm talking to you now. It's nothing special. All this information is on YouTube, right? Except for the DistroKid helper tool you see me use. You'll see me use it today. It saves me a bunch of time. Not necessary. Didn't have it in my beginning videos. You don't need it. Don't complain about the price you're paying for my time, guys. And it's very cheap right now. And it's only going to get more expensive. I'm not being greedy. I'm just telling you how it is. Now, done pumping stuff. And we're going to get back to the lesson. So my total loot and breakdown is roughly $6.80 per 1,000 streams on YouTube. And I'm getting paid roughly $2.80 for 1,000 streams on Spotify. And then roughly $10 per 1,000 streams or views on Apple Music. I don't know why it says Spotify here. Hey, I made this in like a jiffy. I'm using Notebook LM to make these slides. I told it to do it in a Dragon Ball Z style. And as you can see, it's power level 9,000. Impossible. All right, and moving on. The tools you're going to need. Our scouter, right? That's vidIQ for us. This is how we find. This is our market intelligence and cost. We're going to go over the price here in a minute. The other tool you're going to need, ChatGPT. Why do I say that? Because it's all purpose, right? Especially for people starting off on a budget. You get your cheap subscription. You can make images and everything you need all in one place. Not only is it fast, saves you time, it's also the cheapest option, I think, to be able to do all the things you need. The engine, Suno AI, you need that. You have to have this paid music generation. We're going to find out today what kind of images we can make on the free ChatGPT plan, but I recommend using the paid one. Your transportation, right? This is DistroKid. DistroKid is going to you're going to upload your music to DistroKid. DistroKid is going to upload your music to all platforms, and it's going to be instantly monetized. I know on Spotify, you got to have 1,000 streams for a song will pay you out. And to be clear, we are optimizing for YouTube. That is number one, because we get the most bang for our buck. We get the most views for the most part. And those views are monetized at more than twice the rate of Spotify. I know people don't talk about it, but $2.80 for Spotify, $6.80 for YouTube. All right, Canva, this is where we're going to do our editing and our branding. You can use the free version. It's pretty good. We're going to look at it today. But to be fair, I've been paying for all these things for a long time, so I don't know what the free versions even look like anymore. But we're going to kind of check it out a little bit as we move along. The mission, we're going to input, make prompts, refine those prompts, and then we're going to keep using them, and we're going to double down on them, okay? The tactics are simple. The strategy is simple. 500 songs, 90 days. That's an arbitrary number, right? I made my first dollar off of 3 albums. One of them was a sea shanty album. If you go watch my original videos, my first videos, you'll hear me say all that stuff. But my first couple dollars were made off of sea shanties, bro. I made a sea shanty album and a Viking album. It's like my very first 2 published albums. Paid me $1. And I was like, holy F and G, this is real. I got $1 in the bank. Let's go. So if I make 1,000 albums, I'll get $1,000 a month. And I was like, that's done. Done deal. Too easy. One thing I can do is put my head down and get to work, right? That's all it is here. Put your head down and get to work. The first thing that we do is keyword research. I was scrolling through, and this is how I do my keyword research. I think I saw like an Egyptian video or something, and I was like, I like the Viking music. It's doing well. I think it's performing well for a couple of reasons. One of them being it's a dead language or older language. Not many people are speaking it. That automatically narrows down our competition pool. On top of, so I saw like Egyptian music or something. And I was like, I'm getting, I get my feeds on my channels are tailored to me, so I get this stuff propagated to me. Decided to come and do some keyword research, and I typed in ancient music. I was like, okay, very low competition, 23,000. That's within, I look for stuff that's 10,000 or more, and I'll drop search volume with low competition, right? I don't have a number for competition, just as long as it's low. But this is very low, so that's pretty good. I was like, all right, let's check it out some more. It's worth investigating. So I clicked on matching terms for ancient music. And then I saw, the highest ranking term being kind of like ancient Egyptian music. But it basically gave us a list of freaking keywords that I got here that we can target, right? So we got ancient Egyptian music, ancient Greek music. So we can put these for now until something changes. We can use these to tag our metadata, our songs, and our titles of our albums, right? And our playlist and our videos on YouTube. So we got a couple of good keywords here, rising month over month for us to listen to. So what it is I think people are becoming aware that this stuff is available, and they're searching for it. But there's demand here, right? There's a product people are looking for. They're looking for a digital product, right? And not a lot of that product exists, plain and simple. So this is where we find our ability to get in here, right? Ancient Kurdish war music, that sounds cool. Persian music, ancient violin music in background, ancient Japanese music, ancient dungeon music. Maybe put that in a video or something. Target some Dungeons and Dragons players. That sounds cool, but that might be like a play or something. Pretty cool, right? So we got a list of keywords to target, mainly something like this, but we can build a whole channel, a whole genre around this. So that's what we're going to do here, start it from beginning to end, an entire channel. So I wanted to come up with a name, but first I did a little research, and I clicked on ancient Egyptian music, and I wanted to see what was happening out here, right? Because we got low competition, rising month over month, 90%. That's pretty good. And started scrolling down here to see what we got. 249 subscribers for Egyptian cat music videos. So they're basically getting in there because Egyptian and cat music is a search term, right? Egyptian music, ancient Egyptian music for cats. So they're banking on that. See, 259 subscribers. This guy's got 142,000 views, but it is a short, right? Boom. So what we want to look for is long form videos, and we want to see if people have anything published. So we got this guy right here, banking ancient Egyptian keywords, right? So we go check them out. Boom, get over to their channel, run the vidIQ stats. That's another reason I like vidIQ. Not only does it do keyword research, but it gives us quick channel stats. They're uploading 4 times a week, and average length 2-hour videos, and they're making 2K, but they also don't have any releases, right? They don't have a band. So they're kind of like a group, and you can see they talk about the project development team over here, and their music's everywhere. So based on this, we're going to release some albums targeting these keywords: ancient Egyptian music, ambient music, and right there are just keyword stuff in these titles. So since they are monetized, roughly, supposedly, according to that app, we're going to target this niche. I'm not going to imitate this channel. I'm going to do something totally different. But because I want to also target not just ancient Egyptian music, I also want to target all these. So I'm going to go a little broader. And so we need to come up with a name. And I did some searching around. And the way I come up with names is I just start thinking of stuff, or I ask ChatGPT or I ask Claude. And then I make sure the domain name, the .com, and the YouTube video are available. That's a very hard thing to do. So you don't have to do that, but you do got to make sure the name's available. So I was talking with ChatGPT, and it's actually a name I've kind of tossed around more than once, but I did my research. I was looking at all the music and all the different, basically, languages I can start targeting, right? Even if they don't have a search term, I can still put it in there. And I named it Northern Temple. So I went over to Hostinger, which is where I host a lot of my domains, right? I got tons of domains. But you see, I got Dark Ambiento, Cloud Rap Boy, uh, another project I'm working on with my mom. And then last night, I bought northerntemple.com, .org, .net, right? I also like growing mushrooms, if you don't know. I do grow lion's mane. But I bought Northern Temple. So that is going to be our name. You're doing this kind of ancient chanting, some Vedic music, right? These big views on YouTube, so I think the albums will perform well. There's a very large worldly audience, right? So what I did was start a whole, so we could run through everything. I started a whole new DistroKid, brand new one, separate account, no music on this. I just purchased the $24.99 plan, so we're starting from the beginning here. I just purchased that, one artist, just purchased. You see current plan? Starting a YouTube right now. So we'll go with the name. We're not going to do a whole bunch of YouTube setup. There's a million videos on that. I don't do, it takes me 3 seconds, but I'm going to make a picture maybe and then upload it. I might even just use one we already have, right? But I'm going to create the channel. The most important thing is making sure the names are available, right? But you see channels like the one we looked at in the example has like 1, 2, 3 after its name. I don't like that, but you can just put numbers after the name and then name it whatever you want up top and make it the keyword, right? But we're going to take Northern Temple. We're going to create that channel. We're over here on the same channel where I have the Bruvala, right? One of my other artists. Boom. And now we're going to create, well, we're going to try again. Oh, there we go. It does exist. I thought I didn't create it. I was like, dang. And so now we got Northern Temple. Great name. We own the .com, branded now. Nobody can take that from us. So now we have a channel. When we do make our first album, we're going to upload this video here, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So if you're wondering how much everything costs, I'll try to copy and paste this at the front of the video as well. But DistroKid, 24 bucks for the lowest program for a year. So off the rip, you're going to need to pay that in your first month, but you won't pay it again for a year. Then you're going to need Suno. Don't use the free plan. You don't own no commercial use here. Commercial use rights for new songs made, $8 a month, 24 billed yearly. So for 50 bucks, you can get both of these plans for a year, by the way, and then download WAVs one at a time. $50 for a year, right? That means you can get, oh, maybe I'm wrong on that price there. That ain't right. $8 times 12 is $96. But I digress on that. I thought it said $24 for the year package. I'm thinking about DistroKid. But so $32 that first month. vidIQ. If you do, yeah, this stuff is, it says monthly $9.50 a month right now. We'll see if it still lets you get that, but it's $20 a month, right? That's so we're at $28 a month plus $25 for the year, but you're looking at roughly $30 a month to get started. I highly recommend getting a ChatGPT Plus, but this is the free plan. I'm able to get these prompts into code blocks with the free plan of ChatGPT. So we'll make all these songs with ChatGPT, and I've already made a couple. And this is the free plan, but I don't know the quality of images. Give me a 1, 2, 3 x 3 ancient Egyptian album cover. Now, see what it does. And of course, I hit an extra button because I got fat fingers. And we're going to see what this says, right? But it wants me to subscribe and give them money. We'll see. But it's, oh, look, it's creating an image. So you may be able to do some of this for free. I don't know the rights of this image. Please look that stuff up. You might not own that. You might not be able to commercially use this or something. I just highly recommend paying that. So for 50 bucks a month, right? 40 bucks, $48 a month, you get this whole thing set up. So I think it costs roughly 50 bucks. I would tell it to remove this, right? But let's ask ChatGPT. Or do I own the commercial rights to this photo? We'll see what it says. but double check. There you go. It says you can use it commercially, right? I don't retain ownership, and it's not restricted. There we go. You can, if you wanted to call it ancient Egyptian chants, that actually looks pretty dang good. I wouldn't complain too much about that, right? But so, without further ado, very simply, I asked it, and I had to prompt it more than once because it doesn't know me. It's not trained. But I said, give me, and this is the prompt right here. Uh-oh. Right, 20 songs of ancient Egyptian choruses, style prompts for ancient Egyptian music. And this is one of the two skills you need, right? Remember, we need search engine optimization and metaprompting. Those are our skills. I didn't say it at the beginning of the video, but I say it in most of my videos. Remember, I do this unscripted because I do this every day. And my favorite part is creating, right? So, and I said, write me 20 song titles, ancient Egyptian choruses and style prompts for ancient Egyptian music. Ensure to name the instruments. Set the BPM. Set male or female vocals chanting the ancient Egyptian. Make these all one big prompt for Suno AI music generators and have each song in a separate copy code block. And then it didn't have any, which I think this is important, it didn't have any ancient Egyptian lyrics. So I said, hey, where are the ancient Egyptian lyrics? And it gave them to me. And so I generated 2 songs before I fired up the video to make sure we could do this. So potentially you can get started doing this for 30 bucks a month, but I highly recommend 50. The next tool you need is Canva, which is free. I use the free version all the time, but I recommend getting, signing up for a $20 a month version. So I pay for all these. So I'm spending like $70 a month, but I use Canva for everything. My other business, the gym, flyers, school, kids' school, wife's work, like everything, right? We use it for a lot of stuff. So I recommend paying for it. So about $70 a month, if you can afford that, you can start this, right? But it may be $100 that first month if you got a Benji to drop on this. Not everybody has that. I understand that. That's why I'm trying to go through this so you can figure out the cheapest price points for you. But I think you can use the free version of ChatGPT to do all this, which is freaking amazing, right? That is wealth building right there. If I've ever seen it, like for people to not make money online in this day and age, like they just are not putting in the effort, right? You got to just double down on something for a few months and figure it out. And also, everything takes time. But there you go, $8 a month pro plan, $9.50 pro plan. So if you can do this right now, that's less than $20 for Suno and vidIQ. And then free ChatGPT, free Canva. So I don't know. This looks right now to me like you can get started for $20 a month. And not counting your $2 a month here, but they bill you annually, so you have to pay that $25, right? So I recommend making your first artist a good artist. So you see, we started our new channel. It's that easy. You create a channel. You come over here and you click literally switch account, and then you can go view channels, and then we add a channel. Boom, right here, right? But it wants me to do now. It wants me to do some other stuff because I haven't even got advanced features on this, right? And I'm not even going to. I'm going to put only one short video on here. It's going to be small, right? So let's go through the process. I know I'm doing a lot of talking. Like I said, this is unscripted, but we're gonna put out an album. We're gonna upload it to the new DistroKid, to the new YouTube, and yeah. So I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna pull this to the other screen, and I'm gonna be dragging these in to make our. And I gotta remember to go back and use the appropriate DistroKid. But we're gonna set up our new service provider for that. So you can see we did Temple Awakens here, Temple of Ra Awakens already, Sun over the Golden Nile, right? And then we're gonna do some more Lotus Crown Ceremony, and now we're gonna generate our songs. It's got our uh, ancient Egyptian in there. Super exciting. Copy code blocks make this way faster. And there's other ways to do this. Got people in the school community coming up with cool stuff, sharing their own ideas. Claudebots out there doing things for people. Might even be able to do all this. There's so many cool things going on.
Light rising over lion-headed gates, incense curling slow around our braided hair, bare feet.
So now I'm back. We got our playlist here. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull that up and refresh. And I'm gonna use my Suno helper tool, but if not, you would go down here and you would download WVs one at a time. We have this extension available in the school community as a way for supporting me. These guys asked me to start that up. And now we got that, and we're going to download. And you'll see, pictures in a way. Starts downloading all these WAV files and a track list in order of your playlist that you can copy and paste right into your YouTube video, and a JSON file, so it uploads all your metadata to DistroKid, which we'll take a look at, which I already had to download this and put it on the other Chrome for this. But while this is downloading, we're going to go over and use our free ChatGPT to create our picture here. So we got it in, like I said, we're in our first thing, we're on a free plan, and it says we own these. So I had made more of these, so now I want to tell it to remove the text overlay, and make this more realistic, please. Right? We don't got to get super complicated with this. You just need to be able to tell these machines what you want them to do. They're all little helpers, right? And they only work as well as you prompt them to work. They need purpose, direction, and motivation, guidance, right? And we'll be creating our image here. Pull it off to the side so I can still look at this. I want this. Sometimes it likes to get lose signal, so we don't want that to happen. If you're used to clicking off your tabs and working in the background, if you're using this tool, don't leave this up. Don't click off, or else it stops playing around. But I'm on an old computer and on Wi-Fi, so like I said, I'm basically a boomer. Upgrade to create faster, right? But we'll see. But the bottom line is you don't have to edit this. You can just upload it as is. Especially you can use ChatGPT to edit like I just showed you. Whereas I would normally just pull it to Canva and erase that. But now we got our image. We're going to download that. And using this. So there we go. Design. Get started. Free. All right. Continue to Canva. Thanks. So here we are in the free version of Canva, and let's see if we can make this the way we want. Let's go ahead and do it here. Same thing, custom size, 3000, 312, tab 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, here we go. See, it wants me to, right, it's for a podcast, so that's what it's for podcasts too, so you can upload your podcast at DistroKid too, right? So here we are. We'll pull this in here, and see how we're looking. Set that to the background. Now when we edit, let's see what we got. So I know like some of this stuff's are pro only. Yeah, see pro. But maybe we don't have to use those. We can just use some good filters. If you know me, I like the vintage ones. Gives us some nice pop sometimes. Now we'll go back, see if we get, oh, did we get free autofocus? You may not even need to pay for Canva, guys. That's kind of cool. There you go. We got our autofocus right here. I like autofocus to make things pop sometimes. If you want to, just gives it a little depth to the photo, like I'm actually looking down. This is a great photo. We're going to use this for our first album. I like this. Ancient Egyptian music. We're going to keyword. I like to keyword everything personally. I like to search engine optimize all metadata. That includes titles, thumbnails, tags, folders. But I don't get carried away with it anymore, but there was a time. There we go. We'll call it Ancient Egyptian music. Now we're going to download. Oh, I don't know why I clicked that. Wrong one. Download. Bada boom. See if it lets me do this. And now I think you can do this very cheap. I think that you can get started with this very cheap. We just made our thumbnail for free, right? This is our albums, titles, thumbnails are free. I don't know how much you need, but that was free. Now we're going to go over to DistroKid. This is going to be our first album on this new DistroKid. You notice that there's no music or nothing. We're going to upload music. And I already have the Suno helper tool on here, right? So we're going to use that the DistroKid helper, which is the DistroKid version. And let's check on. All right, cool. We're at 19 to 22. Make sure this keeps downloading. And then we'll be ready to upload. So we have our thumbnail and everything. I'm super surprised how cheap this is, honestly. Yeah, I'm still very surprised. I think once more people start making money with Suno, they're going to jack those prices for sure. It only makes sense because I would pay it. Now, would I pay a bunch beforehand? No. So that's the give and take there. But right now, I would pay a lot of money for Suno. So I'm actively working on trying to build my own version of a music generator, and I have all of my songs, thousands of them, if my artists saved to multiple hard drives, by the way, that I can train these on, right? So there's open source data out there. I'm just not the guy. I'm not that smart. I have to pay someone to help me that won't, screw me over and backdoor some stuff in there. All right, so we got that downloading. We got our album cover created and downloaded. Now we'll look at as soon as this is done, we're going to upload this. As soon as we're getting it uploaded, we're going to make one video. I'm going to show you how to make one video, and we're going to get that uploaded to our new YouTube channel. Okay. And then I think that'll complete the process for today. Like it'll be the entire everything that you need to know to do this and just repeat this process and then find your songs that are performing well and repeat it again, right? Creating that zip file now. And this 22 songs is an arbitrary number. And I didn't have to do 22. I could have done 10. But in my mind, I'm like, if I can do one, might as well do 20. It's increasing my odds, right? That's just my opinion. But it's also increasing my odds of getting album sales on iTunes. Because some people would rather pay 99 cents for one song, or would they rather pay $4.99 for 20 songs or 30 songs, right? That's the way my thinking there. I think that's why I've gotten thousands of dollars in album sales, because that I put a bunch of songs on here. It's a basic value proposition for me, right? Math problems. So that's what we're doing here. Zip files creating, taking forever. Way down there, Northern Temple. Boom. And then the first album, I'm going to make it, the first folder we're going to make in there is just going to be the month and the year. So Feb 2026. And it'll be everything that we do for this artist in February 2026. And I'll keep it simple. That's my naming convention. Artist name, month and year. Right? And that way, now we select this and downloading it there, save. And now we're going to extract it, right? Now we're going to look at it. It popped it open over here. I like it when it does that, so it's not necessarily on screen. Now we'll open that. Oh, zoomed in because I'm a boomer. 1000%. Don't forget to zoom your computer in if you ever want to zoom things in. Here we are. We'll extract all. Right, if you have trouble reading your screen, don't forget go to settings and zoom in. We're going to extract all those right here into Northern Temple, first album. This makes it fast. It'll take a few minutes. It'll take a few seconds, not even minutes. I'm going to open up CapCut while this is happening. We're going to start prepping that because we're going to drop a WAV in there in a minute, and we're going to make and we're going to drop our album cover in there, and we're just going to make a quick video. All right, we're all extracted. Also, there's everything. Here's our track list, right? For some of you who don't know what the track list looks like, pops it up just like that. Now you'll see that it's over an hour there. So I pop it into ChatGPT when they're over an hour, and I have it convert this to hours and minutes, or you can do it manually if you want. Copy and paste all that right into your YouTube video. Right, so we got all that done. Now we're going to go to our new distributor, new account that we just bought, $20 a year. Open that up, and now we're here. Now we'll go to our DistroKid helper tool. We should be able to Select the meta.json. Gonna make sure to edit all this crap out because I know that it's just steadily. I just don't want to show you all my stuff. So we got bad actors out there already targeting me. And, you know, if I have my way, I am that guy. So we'll select our meta.json, upload that. Actually, we're going to see if this works because if you only have one artist, this should work. I don't have a drop down box. This is what I was checking for. If you have 10 artists or 20 artists and you got a drop down box here, the name will not autofill. But if you just have one, it should autofill. Northern Temple. Do not misspell this. This is very important. Okay, if you mess this up, it's going to create you a new artist. If I spell this wrong next time, it'll be a whole nother artist. And now we will autofill. This should autofill our DistroKid. Should say metadata working. This is actually we're applying metadata. And make sure that you put it where it says song, then title down here in prepend. Boom, 26 titles filled. That makes me excited. So if you still just have one artist, it will autofill the name. But as soon as you get a drop-down box, autofill the name doesn't work anymore. So now you can see Northern Temple autofilled. No, we're not on Spotify. No, we're not on Apple Music. No, we're not in YouTube. No, we're not on Instagram. No, we're not in Facebook, right? You're going to go make all these accounts and you're going to add those manually if you want them, right? And you can do it later. You don't got to do it now. It's going to create them for you. Nope. Nope. We can upgrade and put a label here. If you want to be able to change it, we got to upgrade. If you want to be able to change prices, you got to upgrade. I like to drop it down to $5.99. But you don't have to. So I see that you can't even drop that price there. So this album's going to be $9.99. Definitely want to put more songs on there if you can't change your price to $5.99, right? Primary genre, we're just going to go New World. Where is it? New Age, right? And then we're going to select genre and world. And then we're going to put our album cover in there. There's our free album cover. Pretty good. Now we need to upload our songs, right? One at a time. There's tools that can do this, people doing all this. But the name of the album is Sand Spirits, so I always put the first song. And I didn't used to always do this, even though this says Obsidian Gate. The heck? Wonder why the data's messed up. Oh, I bet I filled the data backwards. I got apply track list in reverse order clicked. I was wondering what was going on there. Well, since we did that, we'll put it in reverse order. And we'll just have to do them backwards. No big deal. I'll be back in just a second. Now we're uploading. Click upload. Hopefully I fast forwarded to here and stopped. So free ChatGPT made these songs and the album cover. Now we'll take one of our WAVs and we're going to go over to here and we will import a video. So we'll pull our WAVs in here. We got Sand Spirit. We'll just make one for that video right here. And I'm going to drag it right in. Boom. Pop that file back open. And we're going to drop our album cover in there. And we're just going to use that picture, right? And, oh yeah, I did that in the other browser, of course. Open this browser up. Pull it over and get that album cover. We're just going to use that. We're going to set the ratio. 16:9. Zoom this bad boy in. Well, first, we'll just make it the length of the video. Super simple. Do better on this, right? Put more effort into these things than what I'm showing you here. I'm just getting through the process for you, but I'm doing good enough for government work, if you know what I'm saying, right? So we'll scale this in. And we got our 16:9 per session going on here. I think that looks good. Now we'll give it some filters. Oh, let me get this out of the way. I'm done. Why is this screen showing like this? Oh, okay. Let me get this out of the way. Close down our track list. Make sure you guys can see. I got way too much open right now, sorry. All right, cool. Y'all can see that. I'll move my picture back over here now. And no, we don't have to do anything crazy. You can put whatever effects you want, transitions you want, right? Whatever things you want to do. Some of my favorites, intros and whatnot are here. I like to use wobbly black. Boom, I like to use that. Give it a little atmosphere. And we can do, if you wanted to do some falling feathers or something, that's cool. But what I really like to do, right, is we can do the auto captions here. And this is, you got to pay for CapCut. This is not free. And pause. It's freezing. I had to throw a blanket on. It's cold down here. But add our auto captions. I like to go, you can add captions if you want, or auto lyrics, and choose one of these styles that you like. And choose something simple. We got Rockstar, right? If you want to do these, I don't necessarily think you have to do these, but you can. It's not necessarily going to pick up the language as well, right? I just do simple videos like this. Or I'll take this and I'll go to another paid program and I'll make a video out of this picture, and then I'll put the video, the little 8-second video, right at the front and do a static image for the rest. But I don't even want to do lyric. We'll download that right there. And we're going to go to Northern Temple and put it in our folder. Now that we're in Northern Temple, I'm going to select February 2026. And this is where we'll save our videos for this month as well. And the song is Sand Spirits. See, I can't even type, guys. If I can do this, you can do this. Super easy. I'll set this to, and this is a little trick for you too, right? Set it to 24 frames per second, because then now you're going to see it just dropped it to make it smaller, right? Now this is going to download really quick. See, at 30 frames per second, it's bigger. Watch, 234 megabytes. Now I want to change it down. We're going to save a couple megabytes. It's going to download and upload faster. Matters when you got an old computer like me. Now we'll export. That's downloading while our album's uploaded. And then we'll upload that to our YouTube, right? Super simple. Now you can make a thumbnail in Canva for free. You can go through that whole process, right? There's a million videos on how to make thumbnails. There's a million videos how to do everything. I think I'm going to cut it off there. Yeah. I generally don't show videos, but if you want to make this video better, right? This is just a simple way to do it. I'm not saying it's going to get your channel monetized and it's the greatest video editing ever. That's just a simple way that you can use what you have to quickly and efficiently make a video and get it popped out and do a whole process, get an artist set up, right? I generally, and I got tons of videos with just static images, by the way, no issues, and they're monetized. They just don't get the most amount of views. People want to see a little bit of action at the front, right? So drop an 8-second or couple 8-second videos that you generated with Flow or Gemini at the front. Take this image and just drop it right into Flow or Gemini, right? Yeah, that's all I got for today. I got a lot of stuff to do. We're working real late today. Appreciate y'all for sticking around. Go watch all my videos. I drop different little nuggets in all of them. It's all unscripted, so I also forget things, right? And because I'm actually doing this stuff. This is going to be a new artist. I'm gonna put 10 artists on here too. I'm looking at ways to automate everything. And yeah, appreciate you. Peace.